Hi there, thanks for watching today's Drawing for Adults video brought to you by the Ann Arbor District Library and the Ann Arbor Art Center. Today we are going to be painting with watercolors these beautiful agate gem like slices kind of. So first things first is making sure you've got your right supplies. So having some watercolor paints, a water cup, and some brushes. I'm going to be doing this digitally, but I'm also going to show you here at the end an actual like physical watercolor painting that I did as well that looks really similar using the exact same photo reference. It's just a little bit more zoomed in. It's that one that you saw right at the beginning of the video there in my introduction. So what you're going to do first though is look up a good photo reference that has a nice amount of detail, and you're going to want to sketch it out. Just keep it kind of simple, just do a few of the different rings, and then with your watercolor, I like to work from the outside in, and so I'm kind of doing that edge that's kind of a more of a rocky edge, and then I'm starting in with my blues. So you can also explore some wet on wet techniques where you wet your paper first with just water with your brush and then paint on top of it with wet watercolor paint, and you can get some really cool swirly effects. I'm doing this digitally. I admit it's not nearly as interesting as my watercolor example, so hopefully you'll be able to really see the intricate watercolor effects with my actual painting here in just a moment. But I still wanted to just kind of walk you through here the process of how I went about this digitally, which, like I said, is definitely not nearly as detailed, but you can still with a wet on dry approach, where you take wet watercolor paint on dry paper to do a lot of those little rings, so that you're basically drawing with your brush, and so you don't have to worry about all of your wet watercolor paint smearing. This is a great project to kind of do in small doses, you know, do one ring and then go read a book or do something else for a little while and then come back to it and paint another ring and let that dry. That way you don't have to worry about things just kind of blending and getting all, you know, combining and getting all like muddled up and everything. So but just really focus on the subtle variations between these you know, different colors that you have in your photo reference, and so pay attention to that. Like I said, work in small little doses where you can add a little bit of detail here and a little bit of detail there, and then just keep layering. I think this watercolor is beautiful when done in lots of layers, and so kind of doing these semi-transparent layers, deepening your blues on the edges that you can see here. I keep every once in a while adding another layer of color there, and then also playing with saturation, where you're letting some places be a little bit lighter and other places where you have more water, and other places where it's a little bit more concentrated. Now, I took a gold acrylic paint on the edge of my watercolor paintings. You can see me painting that there to give kind of a cool gold edge. You don't see it here actually in this zoomed in picture, but here you can really see a lot of the layers of watercolor paint and how many different colors that I've really packed into it. So here's more of just another image there that you can see a little bit more of the top part and zoomed out. Again, this doesn't actually have that gold part though added yet on that edge, but it made it so it had a nice little metallic pop to it. And but most importantly, you can see it's a little bit loose. It's realistic, but at the same time, it's not super realistic. And here in this next little video, you can hopefully see a little bit of the pops of metallics that I've added. Hopefully it's helpful to see the actual watercolor painting here in addition to seeing more of the process of the order of operations with the digital one. But have fun painting today, and I hope that you'll tune in next time.